Oops, forgot to take myself off mute there. I apologize. Doing this on by myself today because Sarah and Nick are out protesting the election. Not the presidential election, they're actually protesting the Pepsi Challenge from the 90s. They really think Coke got a raw deal. And I think we can all agree that the two cola solution just isn't working for most of America. But my name is John Chezik, and I'll be your host for the evening. Tonight we're going to do trivia. I also run the number one tour company in Detroit, according to my grumpy dog Charlie here. Now let's get on to the rules of the game. So if you've never played before, well, actually, first we're going to remind everybody to wear masks. Obviously, COVID has taken a big uptick. And so we want to prevent the spread of the disease. So make sure you're wearing a mask. As you can see right here, the Spirit of Detroit's doing his part, so you can do yours as well. Also, if you're interested in setting up private group trivia, holiday party season is upon us once again. So if you're looking for a fun way to remotely have a holiday party for your work group, for your church group, for your cult group, any type of group, online classes, it's great for ice breaking. Hit us up at hello@herbappealtours.com. Also, if you'd like to sponsor this public trivia, you can also reach out to us at hello@herbappealtours.com. All right. So if you've never played before, on your second device, you want to go to crowd.live/herbappeal because that is where you're going to enter the questions. Now, the questions have a time component, so the quicker you can get your correct answer in, the more points you will receive. Now, the person with the most points at the end of each game is going to be the winner. But 3 places are going home with prizes today. We'll just do top 3 this week. Third place will go home to $5 to Boro Resale, which is a fantastic resale shop in Detroit's Eastern Market area. And second place will go home $5 to Boro and $5 to Gracie Apothecary, which is they do herbal teas and essential oils, all kind of fun stuff like that. So definitely check them out. And first place is going home with both of those gift certificates and a free walking tour with Herb Appeal Tours. All right, but without further ado, we will get started with the trivia here. And just got to bear with me a little bit because I am doing this on my own. Nope, too early for the credits, I'd say. All right. Question 1. Sorry, here it comes. Question 1. What was the name of the man who started American Coney Island? Was it A, Peter Karmanos? Was it B, Vasily Kiros? Was it C, Constantine Kiros? Or was it D, John Constantine? So again, we are looking for the founder of American Coney Island. And that is, of course, Constantine Kiros. His brother Vasily started Lafayette Coney Island. So it looks like almost half of you guys got that right. Way to go. On to question 2. On what street is Ford Field's Gate A? Is it St. Antoine, Brush, Beaubien, or John R.? Correct answer there is B, Brush. So that is Gate A. It's the main gate, obviously, right there on Brush Street. Looks like about half of you guys got that one right, too, so way to go. And now on to question 3. What was the name of the freighter that sank November 10th, 1975? Was it A, Ella Fitzgerald? Was it B, Lusitania? Was it B, the Titanic, C, the Lusitania, or D, the Edmund Fitzgerald? Looking for the name of the ferry that sank 45 years ago, almost to the day, 2 days ago. And that is, of course, D, the Edmund Fitzgerald. So looks like 74% of you got that right. Looks like I did trick 5 of you with Ella Fitzgerald, the famous jazz singer. And she was unsinkable as far as I'm concerned. On to question. Oh, you know what? Let's take a look at that leaderboard. So it looks like in third place, Aunt Marge from Knoxville, Tennessee. Second place, Scout Cat, who is a very talented cat that lives in Redford. In first place, we've got Mikey H with 176 points. Looks like we got Robbie Lynn playing. Papa Doc is playing, which I'm a fan of that name. Vera P. Nelman. I'm familiar with Sarah P. Nelman, but Vera, very mysterious. And in last place, 0 points, Liza Lott. All right, on to question 4. What was the name of the Hugh Jackman robot boxing movie called that was filmed in Detroit? Was it A, Real Steel? Was it B, Rock'em Sock'em Robots? Was it C, Fool's Iron? Or was it D, Rocky 4? It was filmed in what is now the Foundation Hotel, which is a beautiful hotel. Got the great apparatus room restaurant there. But the correct answer is A, Real Steel. Looks like about 70% of you got that right. Way to go. 2 of you thought it was Rock'em Sock'em Robots, which was that game that you played one-on-one. And that was a great game, but it was not the name of the movie. Also, I do now remember that I forgot to mention, in between the 2 games, we're going to do what we like to call Ask John. So if you want to ask me any questions about Charlie, who's laying down right next to me, about Detroit, about my favorite socks, go ahead and get those in the chat on YouTube right now so that we can answer them in between the games. But now let's get to question 5. Question 5. Who is the park in front of Michigan Central Station named for? Is it A, Henry Ford? Is it B, Buzz Aldrin? Is it C, Franklin Delano Roosevelt? Or is it D, Teddy Roosevelt? So we are looking for who the park is named after, and that is D, Teddy Roosevelt. Also, who the teddy bear is named after, if I'm not mistaken. But not my teddy bear. His name's JW. All right, on to question 6. In what decade was the first Ford Bronco released? Is it A, the 1960s? Is it B, the 1970s? Is it C, the 1980s? Or is it D, the 1990s? So we are looking for the decade the first Ford Bronco was released. And that is A, the 1960s. And that was released in 1965, actually. And then about 25 years later, it was used as a getaway vehicle for, now I'm trying to blank on the guy's name, O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson. Led on the very slow chase in 1991, I believe. I don't know, I was very young. I can tell you that. All right, let's take a look at our leaderboard. So we're going top 3 again. So we got Theodore T.C. Calvin in third place with 309 points. I believe that is, first of all, a character from Magnum P.I., and second of all, 2 of the 3 names of the Chipmunks. So got a lot of bases covered there. Holding on to that second place, and in his claws, or her claws, I actually believe, is Scout Cat with 337 points. And in first place with 343 points, Mikey H holding on there. Looks like we got a Robbie Lynn sighting. Handsome Robbie Lynn playing. Okay, man. Chris Draper's plural. Rora R. Liza Lott. A Christina with no last name. Liza Lott. I'm pretty sure that's Nick and Sarah downstairs. And I think you guys missed my joke of that you're not here playing because you are protesting the election. but the Pepsi Challenge, not the presidential election. So hopefully you guys got to catch that one because it was hilarious. And I know that because Charlie's asleep. All right, let's go on to question 7. In what city is GM's tech center? Is it A, Warren? Is it B, Wayne? Is it C, Detroit? Or is it D, Southfield? Looking for the name of the city that GM's tech center is in. And that is, of course, A. The Warren Tech Center is what it's also known as. Let's see how many of you guys got that right. 74% of you got it right. Way to go. The rest of you, what is that? 26% of you? Get it together. Question 8. What Wayne County city includes a lake by the same name? Is it A, Woodhaven? Is it B, Belleville? Is it C, Southgate? Or is it D, Canton? We're looking for a city that has a lake that is also the same name as the city. And that just so happens to be B, Belleville. May have been to Johnny's on the Lake, which is on the Belleville Lake. See how many of you got that right? 68% of you knew that. Wow, Belleville Lake. Who knew it was so popular? Maybe it's that Johnny's on the Lake, which I had the pleasure of seeing on Google Maps not a few hours ago. All right, on to question 9. What architect designed these condos in Lafayette Park? Is it A, Frank Lloyd Wright? Is it B, Albert Kahn? Is it C, Mies van der Rohe? Or is it D, Art Vandelay? Looking for the designer of the pictured condos. And that just so happens to be a little guy I like to call Mies van der Rohe. C. Looks like only 22% of you got that right. So Lafayette Park is actually the largest collection of Mies van der Rohe buildings in the world. There's also the Lafayette Towers. There's also the Pavilion. And there's also the Mies van der Rohe Shopping Center, which is now home to a Hungry Howie's. So, one-stop shop. On to question 10. This is really weird making these jokes by myself because the only person here to laugh at them is me. Usually at least I have Nick, but we'll move on. Actually, let's take a look at our leaderboard here. So it looks like climbing the ranks to 3rd place is handsome Robbie Lynn, 452 points. In 2nd place, Theodore T.C. Calvin, 2/3 of the Chipmunks. And in 1st place, Mikey H., 499 points. We got Jimmy Howard playing again. Coco's in 14th place. My mom and dad are both playing. Connor Good's in 24th. All right, on to question 10. Which one of these municipalities is not in Wayne County? Is it A, Huron Charter Township? Is it B, West Sumter? Is it C, Rockwood? Or is it D, Carleton? Or Carleton, actually. I apologize. And the correct answer there is D, Carleton. I probably should pronounce it correctly if I'm going to have that be the answer, don't you think? Well, who cares what you say or think? On to question 11. In what year was the first Tigers game played at Comerica Park? Is it A, 1999? Is it B, 2002? Is it C, 2000? Or is it D, 2001? Looks like I forgot to put the word year in that question, but it just makes it a little more fun, don't you think? Correct answer there is C, 2000. See how many of you got that right. Only 17% of you got that right. It was April 11th, 2000. I'm not sure who they played. If you know, put that in the chat instead of doing an Ask John. It can be a Tell John. Ask, tell, show. If you can show me something in the chat, that'd be great too. On to question 12. What university did Dick Vitale coach basketball at in the 1970s? Is it A, University of Detroit? Is it B, Eastern Michigan University? Is it C, University of Michigan? Or is it D, Oakland University? Dick Vitale, baby! That is not a good impression. As soon as I heard it coming out, I'm like, that doesn't sound like him. Diaper Dandy! No, still don't have it. But I do have the correct answer, and that is A, University of Detroit. The Titans, home of Tommy Titan. All right, on to question lucky number 13. What lake does the Huron River flow into? Is it A, Walled Lake? Is it B, Wolverine Lake? Is it C, Lake Erie? Or is it D, Belleville Lake? Just heard about the Belleville Lake. Maybe that's the correct answer. Maybe it's not. It's not, because the correct answer is C, Lake Erie. All right, so here we'll take a look at our leaderboard after every question so you know exactly where you stand. Oh, we've got some changes here. In third place, Mikey H, 589 points. In second place, we've got Robbie Lynn with 636 points. And in first place, Theodore T.C. Calvin. We also have Papa Doc playing. I don't know if that's... Oh, no, it's definitely from 8 Mile. I was thinking it might be from Smurfs, but that's Papa Smurf. Easy mistake to make. On to question 14. For what team was this man the defensive coordinator before becoming head coach of the Lions? Was it A, Cleveland Browns? Was it B, the Pittsburgh Steelers? Was it C, the New England Patriots? Or is it D, the Springfield Adams? Looking for who that man, that specimen of a man there, was defensive coordinator for, and it just so happens to be C, the New England Patriots. Fortunately, did not bring those Patriot winning. Actually, we have the same record as the Patriots this year, but he did not bring the prior to this year winning ways of the Patriots along with him. All right, let's take a look at this here leaderboard. So in third place, Theodore T.C. Calvin, 655 points. In second place, Mikey H., 679 points. And in first place, Robbie Lynn with 719 points. Let's see who else is in strike distance. We got J-Rod Bookmeyer. What's up, Jared? He's in fourth place, just outside the top 3 there. My dad's in second to last place, just ahead of Liza Little's in 11th place. Coco's in 16th. Scout Cat, strong start. Not so good of a mid-game breakdown is what we like to call that in the biz. On to the final question of the evening of game 1. How many municipalities share a border with Detroit? Is it A, 20? Is it B, 25? Is it C, 35? Or is it D, 30? And for how many municipalities share a border with the city of Detroit? That's Detroit, Michigan, of course. And the correct answer there is A, 20. 20 for you Spanish speakers out there. All right, that was our final question. Let's take a look at our Game 1 final standings. In third place, going home with $5 to Boro Resale, is Theodore T.C. Calvin, 655 points. In second place, going home with $5 to Gracie Apothecary and $5 to Boro, is Mikey H. And in first place, no surprise here, $5 to Boro, $5 to Gracie Apothecary, and a free walking tour with yours truly, is Robbie, the handsomest with the mansomest, Lynn. All right, so that is it for Game 1. Let's take a look at our chat, see if anybody has any questions. So Sarah Coop says, what movie character are you most like, and why Ferris Bueller? which Bueller is spelled wrong. Looks like you answered your own question there, Sarah Coop. And I'd say I'm most like him because I started watching that movie at a very young age and may or may not have based my entire personality off what I saw. Connor Good says, new haircut. This is Harper. Harper, I'd love to see your new haircut. I'm sure it looks beautiful. Kaylee Taggart says, hello there. And hello, Kaylee. Again, not a question, but I guess I did say show, tell, or ask. Brian Bookmeyer, how's sitting while presenting? I actually kind of like it. I can get a little swivel in. I don't have to use my mic on my thing, so I can get a little spin. So all in all, I'd say it's great. Robbie Lynn says, are eyebrows considered facial hair? Why or why note? It's definitely not why note because that doesn't make sense. And I would say, yeah, they're facial hair because if you're standing in front of a fire and it blows up in your face and it says it removes all your facial hair, you're definitely including the eyebrows in that. Eyelashes, facial hair, yes. If Cinderella's shoe fit perfectly, why did it fall off? Maybe an invisible person gave her a flat tire. If you're familiar with that, it's when you step on the back of someone's shoe. Usually, if you do that, you're a bully. So perhaps there was an invisible bully at the ball. That's what I think happened. Robbie Lynn's blowing up the chat line here. Let's see. What's your most used emoji from Robbie Lynn? I guess I'll have to go with the thumbs up. Because I do that a lot. It's a lot easier than actually responding to what someone says. So a thumbs up emoji is where I go. Oh, Robbie Lynn, the first game at Comerica Park was Tigers beat the Seattle Mariners 5-2. I believe Ken Griffey Jr. was on that team. Connor Good, if you wanted to be someone famous, how would you be? From Harper. How would I be famous? I guess I would like to be a professional eater because that seems like a great job. Something I could really sink my teeth into. You know what I mean? What are you embarrassed to admit you're afraid of? This will be the last question of, oh, no, I'm talking to you. I think that goes back to the haircut thing. I don't know if I got a haircut or not since the last game. I don't think so. What are you embarrassed to admit you're afraid of? Asked Robbie Lynn. Am I embarrassed to admit I'm afraid of? I guess spiders, but that's a pretty common fear, so I wouldn't say I'm embarrassed. But that is enough for Ask John. We're going to move on to game 2 of the evening. See, make sure I do this right. Nick, I'll never take you for granted again because this is not easy. Let's see. All right, on to game 2, question 1. What proto-punk band was Iggy Pop the singer for? Was it A, MC5? Was it B, The Who? Whoa, I forgot to start the question. Was it A, MC5? Was it B, The Who? Start. Was it C, The Stooges? Or was it D, The Ramones? A little bit of technical difficulties over here. Okay, there we go. So looking for what band Iggy Pop was the lead singer for, and that was the Stooges. C. Let's see how many of you got that right. 62%. You guys are some smart cookies out there. On to question 2. A new affordable housing building in Detroit's Old Redford neighborhood has been named after what former president? Is it A, Barack Obama? Is it B, Gerald Ford? Is it C, George W. Bush? Or is it D, Bill Clinton? For who this is named after. Correct answer there is A. Barack Hussein Obama. On to question 3. What is the name of the annual run that takes place on Thanksgiving downtown? Is it A. Gravy Gate? Is it B. Butterbolt? Is it C. Turkey Trot? Or is it D. Stuffing Scamper? So looking for the run. I believe it's a 5K. I have no idea though. I don't pay to run. I don't like running. That's all I'm going to say about running. Correct answer is the Turkey Trot, of course. C. See how many of you got, 100%. Nobody thought it was a stuffing scamper? I mean, doesn't that sound great? Apparently not. Let's take a look at our leaderboard. So we'll do top 3 again. So, we got a tie in second place here. So tied for second place, so that'd be second and third, is Jelly Johnson with 252 points. Second place, also tied, is Rora R. First place, Robbie Lynn, no surprise. We got quite a few people playing. Looks like at least 20. 22. We got OK Man. We got Coco in the mix. Chris Drapers, plural. Vera P. Nelman. All kinds of people. Christina, no last name, but not last place either. Way to go, Christina. Question 4. What is the name of this man who sang the song The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald? Is it A. Cat Stevens? Is it B. Paul Simon? Is it C. Ramsey Brightheel? Or is it D. Gordon Lightfoot? So we are looking for the singer of the song The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. He is also pictured right here to my left, I believe. And the correct answer is D. Gordon Lightfoot. Get that up there. And it looks like about 86% of you got that right. A lot of 70s folk rock fans out there, apparently. Or maybe just fans of songs about sunken ships. I have a sinking feeling that's not the case. Meant to make that joke earlier, but I forgot. Question 5. What did the DeQuinter Cut used to be? Is it A, a surface street? Is it B, a canal? Was it C, a railroad line? Or is it D, a riverbed? Looking for what the DeQuinter Cut is now is a walking, jogging, and bicycling path, but it used to be something else, and that is C, a railroad line. Looks like 77% of you got that right. No one thought it was a riverbed, interestingly enough. One person thought a surface street. 4 people thought it was a canal. That concludes the number of all the answers. On to question 6. In what city is Lakeside Mall? Is it A, Novi? Is it B, St. Clair Shores? Is it C, Sterling Heights? Or is it D, Walled Lake? Looking for the city in which Lakeside Mall is. And the correct answer there is C, Sterling Heights. Looks like about 65% of you got that right. Way to go. Take a look at our leaderboard. Oh, we got another mix-up on the top 3. So in third place, Mikey H, 451 points. In second place, Rora R, 482 points. Wow, very close. First place, Jelly Johnson, 485 points. Jared Bookmeyer's in 12th place. We've got Robbie Lynn down in 15th. We've got Aunt Marge in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I think 14th and went by before I could finish it. My sister's in third to last place. Sarah. Let's see. Liza Lots in 18th. Connor Good, 21st. All right. Question 7. In what year was Ferndale incorporated as a city? Is it A, 1907? Is it B, 1927? Is it C, 1937? Or is it D, 1947? So looking for what year Ferndale was incorporated as a city. And the correct answer there is B, 1927. I forgot the answer there. I had to wait till it popped up, just like you at home. See, we're not so different, you and me. On to question 8. What city does the owner of the Trump Unity Bridge live in? Is it A, Taylor? Is it B, West Bloomfield? Is it C, Livonia? Or is it D, Detroit? Looking for the owner of the infamous Trump Unity Bridge. The man was recently arrested, and I believe the Unity Bridge impounded. And he is hailing from the great city of C, Livonia. Let's take a look at how many of you guys got that one right. Only 39% of you. Some of you thought Taylor. Some of you thought West Bloomfield. One of you thought Detroit, which I thought was a joke answer, but you know what? You did your best. You can only lose by not trying. So that's what I'm going to say. On to question 9. What type of building is behind this statue of Honest Abe that can be found downtown? Is it A library? Is it B, an office building? Is it C, condos or condominiums? Or is it D, City Hall? That is famous statue of, or I don't know, famous, but it's a statue of Abe Lincoln. But below it says, "Let man be free." That is, you can find that in the back of the Skillman branch of the Detroit Public Library. So the correct answer there is A, library, or biblioteca in Spanish. I'm doing a lot of Spanish today. Well, Duolingo paying off here. See how many of you guys got that right? 77%. Very, very good. All right, let's take a look at our leaderboard here. See what's what. In third place, Chris Drapers, 576 points, dropping down to second place, or maybe it was already second place, is Jelly Johnson, 598 points. First place, 610 points, Vera P. Nelman. All right, who else we got here? Christina's in 21st. Liza Little in 15th place. Kirk Maltese is playing. Sarah Young, you've moved from third to last to second to last, Sarah. Get it together. Just kidding. You're doing great and you're beautiful. All right, on to question 10. Announced today, until when is Detroit Public Schools canceling in-person classes? Is it A, April? Is it B, February? Is it C, January? Or is it D, March? So again, looking for when it is canceling in-person classes, of course, due to COVID outbreaks. Again, wear those masks, people. Stay home if you can. But the correct answer is C, January. On to question 11. How many Hall of Famers have played for the Pistons? Is it A, 16? Is it B, 24? Is it C, 19? Or is it D, 13? And for the number of Hall of Fame players have, at one point or another, played for the Pistons, the correct answer there is C, 19. A lot of C's today. This is randomized. I don't control it. On to question 12. What is the name of the organization that puts on the Thanksgiving Day Parade here in Detroit? Is it A, the Thanksgiving Authority? Is it B, Detroit Float Company? Is it C, Parade Company? Or is it D, Parades Are Us? So looking for the organization that puts on the Thanksgiving Day Parade. That is, once again, C, the Parade Company. Not very creative name, but they're doing the best they can, just like the rest of us. I think this year they are doing the parade, but no one can watch. I don't think it's going to be like the fireworks where it's going to be a secret where it is because I don't know how that would work with a parade. But hopefully people are smart and stay home. On to question 13. Actually, let's see how many people got that one right. I'm curious. 55% of you got that right. A lot of people thought it was the Detroit Float Company. I just made that up. But they could also make drinking floats too. Or they could make floaties for swimming or feathers. Because the feathers get made, in case you didn't know that. On to question 13. Who painted the famous Detroit industry murals at the DIA? Is it A, Salvador Dali? Is it B, Pablo Picasso? Is it C, Frida Kahlo? Or is it D, Diego Rivera? Correct answer there. It's coming up in a second. It's not C this time. It is D, Diego Rivera. All right, let's see how many of you guys got that one right. 83% of you got that right, hopefully because you knew it. Also, I asked that exact same question about 10 weeks ago. So maybe you knew from that too. Maybe you learned something from the show. Let's take a look at our leaderboard, see what's going on, heading into our final two questions. So in 10th place, Laura Dunn. Way to go, Laura. But in third place, in line for $5 to borrow resale, is Mikey H. And moving down to second place with 786 points, in line for $5 to borrow and $5 to Gracie Apothecary, is Vera P. Nelman, 786 points. Jumping up to first place, in line for both of the gift certificates and a free walking tour, is Jelly Johnson. All right. On to question 14. In what year is the next Detroit mayoral election? Is it A, 2022? Is it B, 2024? Is it C, 2023? Or is it D, 2021? Correct answer there is D, next year, 2021. Of course, Mike, as far as I know, Mike Duggan is going to be running again. I've not heard of too many challengers for that yet. Might be a bit early. I think people have a little bit of election fatigue. See how many of you guys got that right? Looks like 26% of you got it right. Most of you thought it was 2022. Then 2024 and 2023 each got a couple of votes as well. All right, before we get to our final question of the evening, we'll take a look at our leaderboard. So, in third place, Kamel Kanji, 804 points. In second place, Chris Drapers, 805 points. And in first place, Jelly Johnson, 908 points. All right, we are moving on to the final question of the evening. Question 15. I like this question. What is the name for followers of this area rap group? Is it A, Juggalos? Is it B, Harlequins? Is it C, Jokesters? Or is it D, Jabronis? Looking for the name of the followers of those two guys. Also known as ICP. I get press on nails from Lee. Correct answer is A, Juggalos. See how many of you guys got that right. 57%. 2 of you thought Jabronis, which I think is hilarious. I appreciate you putting that in there. And then Harlequins and Jokesters got 4 answers apiece. Now let's see if that changed our leaderboard. It did not. In third place, going home with $5 to borrow, is Kamel Kanji. In second place, going with $5 to borrow and $5 to Gracie Apothecary, is Chris Drapers. And in first place, I believe a new player, unless they just switched their name, Jelly Johnson, $5 to borrow, $5 to Gracie Apothecary, and a free walking tour. Jelly Johnson, 996 points. Well, big thank you to everybody for playing. Hopefully you enjoyed this week of Herb Appeal Trivia. We'll see you next week. We'll get these credits rolling. These are hard to read. I guess I got to change the background for what I'm doing in front of this black thing. See, we'll get rid of the. There we go. That'll be easier to read, maybe. Not really. Until next week, stay happy, stay healthy, and as always, stay hungry. Mm. Perfect banana. This is how I like them. In case you're ever in the market to buy me a banana, this is exactly how brown slash yellow I like it. No green. Too not sweet enough if they're green. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Delicious and nutritious. Potassium, fiber, all kinds of stuff. Bye, everybody.